Hey everybody, this is Glidercat and it's time to play. Today I have a first look for you of a new game called Nodes. It's being developed by solo developer Damaged Axons and has just come out as a fully released game here on June 3rd, 2022. My thanks goes out to the developer for granting my request for a press key so I could put this content together for you. Now in this first look video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the game. Then we're going to play through the initial tutorial and a bit of the early game so you can see how it starts out. And then lastly, we'll skip ahead to the mid or late game so you can see a bit of what that looks like, because it's pretty different than the early game. And I should mention that the in-game music for Nodes is pretty good. It's only a few different songs that repeat. It is nice. I've left that original music out of this video just so I can avoid copyright claims, which I often run into when I include the in-game music. As usual, I'll put a bunch of links in the description of this video where you can find more information about the game. I'll also take this opportunity to quickly thank Glidercat patrons and channel members. Their contributions are what makes this content possible. So thank you, patrons and channel members. Sincerely, really appreciate it. If you'd like to join those folks in helping support the Glidercat channel, there are links in the description for that as well, and I deeply, deeply appreciate that support. Now, I've played Nodes for a little over 20 hours now, and aside from a few small bugs, it's played pretty smooth and it's fairly intuitive. So what is Nodes all about? Nodes is a 2D factory game where your main goal is completing an extensive tech tree that consists of about 275 individual nodes that need to be unlocked. Now on the surface, it looks really simple. In fact, there's not much complication at all, and the game is super easy to learn. But looks are a little deceiving in this case, and as you start playing, you'll come to appreciate the tremendous scale of this game. It really gets pretty big. Now you'll also discover that there are many possible strategies for completing the huge tech tree while at the same time trying to keep your growing factory somewhat organized. And that can become a huge challenge in itself, as we'll see here when we get to showing the later game. Now, Nodes has hooked me kind of unexpectedly, and I've been enjoying it a great deal. I started playing, I didn't expect a lot. It looked interesting, but my first play session ended up lasting for about 7 or 8 hours, so it really kept me engaged. Again, the game starts out very simple. You begin with just 2 nodes, which you can kind of think of, the nodes are just basically machines that each produce a single product. One of your starter nodes produces grass and the other produces rock. Now from that tiny start, you'll be building and upgrading hundreds of nodes as you play in order to keep your production levels up and work your way through that giant tech tree that I mentioned. Now the rock and the grass nodes, the ones you start out with, those don't require any inputs, but I believe all of the other nodes in the game do, right? The other 273 roughly do require other inputs that come in from other nodes. Now as you unlock nodes further out in the tech tree, they're going to require multiple inputs, and the production chains as you play on, they can require 8 or more different intermediate products as you get later into the game. Kind of typical of factory games. This one is kind of minimalist, but you do get into some longer and complex production chains. Again, now your main goal in Nodes is to unlock every node in that huge tech tree I showed a minute ago. You unlock new nodes by producing and spending significant quantities of different materials. So the way it works, you plop down some nodes, they start producing product. You use that product first to unlock nodes in the tech tree. Basically, you're kind of unlocking blueprints. And then you'll produce more materials so that you can actually purchase those nodes and place them down in your factory. And off you go, producing nodes, unlocking nodes, building more nodes to do the same thing. Along the way, your factory keeps expanding and it can become difficult to manage unless you find a way to keep things somewhat, at least somewhat organized as you go. We'll see maybe a little bit of that later on. Now, Nodes also has a large number of milestones or kind of like achievements that will net you boosts to the rate of production for your entire factory, right? Each node that you place can be upgraded to increase its rate of production. But then as you get achievements in the game, that will boost everything. Your entire factory's rate of production will increase. Now you gain these production boosts by unlocking specific nodes in the tech tree, crossing various production thresholds, or growing your factory to a certain size. We'll take a look at those specific milestones here in a bit. All right, let's jump in and play a little bit. There's an initial tutorial. We'll walk through that and then we will set up some production and get a little ways. And then later I will kind of fast forward and show you kind of what the mid to late game looks like in Nodes. So this screen is what comes up when you first launch the game, at least in the version that I'm playing. There's no opening menu. There's nothing. It just drives you and brings you right into the opening tutorial. So let's go through this. It says, hello and welcome to Nodes. Let's take a quick look around. Click. Okay, these guys generate resources. Those are the nodes. Open up and see what is going on inside. Press the left mouse button. All right. Okay, this is the node info window. Here you can see all the information about production, inputs, efficiency, etc. Okay, very cool. Looks like we've got a button here to put produced product into storage, and then you can say if you want a fifth or a half or all of it put into storage, and then that's actually a button there. And then we've got the ability to upgrade our nodes. And then we'll see what these are here as we move on. Let's keep moving. Okay, this represents the amount of resources generated. Okay, that's the left side here. Generated per cycle is 12. And I guess that's every 2 seconds. Next. Here you can put generated resources into storage so they can be used for upgrading, purchasing, and unlocking nodes. I think that's the put in storage button there. This section is used for upgrading. Yeah, we just kind of saw that. Just select how many levels to upgrade and go. So you can say upgrade 1 level at a time, do 10 in a batch, and then the max. And I think this number here, this 24, is what it costs to do the upgrade. So it's showing us to upgrade 1 level. It's going to cost 24 of this same material, but we'll see that in action a little bit later. This button toggles an additional window which controls how many of the produced resources to send off. That's this guy right there. Kind of like an export button. We'll see that in action, like all this other stuff. Here you set how much of the produced resources to send off to other nodes. Max will always keep at maximum even after leveling up the node. Okay. Boom. And this one toggles the window which shows more detailed information. That's down here, this little scroll looking thing. Oops, so I'm going to click it. Here you can see in the specific detail how the production is going. So yeah, you click on the scroll, this little sub window comes up, shows you the production cycle time, how many resources are being imported into this node per second, how many are being consumed, and then whether you've got a surplus or a deficit. So since nothing's coming in and we're consuming 6, there's a deficit here, and then some other data here about efficiency. Next. Okay, this toggles window to see in detail how much is coming in and going out per input. That must be this little magnifying glass. Okay, here for each input is visible how much of it is used in production versus incoming. Interesting. So I guess this is a surplus. Nothing's coming in and 6 is going out. Something like that. This indicates how many resources are currently kept in this node. That's this little 0 here. Each node has its own kind of internal inventory. I believe that's what that is there. When you need that little boost, little spelling error there, press and hold here to accelerate production. We'll see that in action, but if you kind of left click and hold on the icon here, this big circle, it will speed up the production as long as you're holding down the mouse. Here are the needed resources for production. In this case, it needs to receive 36 rock resources to start production. That's this little placard here saying in order to produce this, which I believe this is rock, or no, this is stone. It says right there, stone. We're going to input rock, and we need 36 rock in order to make one of these stone, I believe, or at least for a cycle. See that in a minute. Press these to collect and put in storage any excess materials that have arrived. Press this. What is that? Press these to collect and put in storage any excess materials that have arrived. Oh, interesting. Maybe you can press this button and empty the excess inventory. Didn't know that was a thing. Okay, this one is going to delete the node. No refunds. That is down here. Delete node. Okay, now press the right mouse button anywhere to close the node info window. Sure. Okay, the nodes can be moved around the map by pressing and holding the middle mouse button and dragging. Good. You can also snap to grid for better alignment. To do that, hold the left control when you're using the middle mouse button. Fine. You can also select multiple nodes to move at once. To do that, press the Shift key and the mouse button, click and drag. No worries. All of the key combos are in the help menu. Okay, very cool. We're almost done with this tutorial. Some nodes can work without resource input, but most of them rely on other resources. This means that nodes need to be linked together and told to send resources over. Let's try to set that up. There's our little starter node. To link nodes together, first press on the node that will send resources, and you're going to do it with the right mouse button. Boom. Now select the receiver node. Same thing, right mouse button. Where the source, right mouse click, the destination, right mouse click, and it automatically puts that link together. Now the nodes are linked. Now the nodes are linked together. The link can be broken by right-clicking on it when needed. So yeah, if we click on this link, boom, we could get rid of it. Once the nodes are successfully linked together, open up the sender node and send the maximum amount. All right, so we'll click on the node and then we'll just say max, boom. And now that source node is going to send all of its production over to the node that we linked to it. If we selected something less than max, that extra resource would just stay in this node's own inventory. So maybe they're going to show us that. Now you can see that this node is sending out the resources, okay? It will automatically balance out sent resources equally between all linked nodes. So we linked one. If we linked the same node to two others, it would just distribute its export materials equally between the three. That makes sense. So we're exporting 57. If I had 3, it would do, just a little bit under 20 would be sent to each of the nodes that we linked to it. Hopefully that makes some sense. Now just close the node info window. Right click to dismiss those dialogues. Now the whole thing is working like a well-oiled machine. Since you now have resources going, it's time to check out where they can be used. Okay, one place is the shop. Here you can buy new nodes to speed up the production and generate new resources. So they're showing us the toolbar button up at the top right. Boom. But to buy new nodes, you first have to unlock them. This is where to do it. This is kind of our tech tree, actually. Here you can see all the resources that you have gathered in storage. That's basically our global inventory there. Here are the milestones. Don't forget to check these from time to time, since claiming them give valuable rewards. We'll see those. Here you can see the performance boosts that you have accumulated. It says in development. This is actually like statistics. We'll see that in a minute too. Options, not many options, but we'll look at those quickly. Help menu and exit game. Okay, that is more or less it. For specifics, go to the help menu. Have fun. All right, they started us out with 2 basic nodes. We've got a rock node here, and we've got a grass node. They're both at level 1. Let's take a quick look up here at the top right, see what we've got. Here is our shop. We only know about grass nodes and rock nodes. So there's like 275 or 273 more nodes we're going to learn about as we play on, but right now we can only buy these. Unfortunately, they only cost the same materials. So to get a new grass node costs 400 grass, to get a new rock node costs 400 rock, and we've got 2 nodes here producing for us. There is our tech tree. This is the puzzle we need to uncover. It's kind of the main objective of the game, is to unlock all of these nodes. Let's zoom in for a second here and just see what this is about. There's rock. We know about it. Here is another node. We don't know what this is. We can see the icon for it, but it hasn't described it yet. And we know we need 600 rock to unlock that. Here, 700 rock to unlock that node, 700 here. And then these other nodes are will be uncovered as we unlock these first ones. We've got, looks like 4 nodes that we could potentially unlock that are branching off of the rock node. Where is the grass? The grass looks like it's down here at the bottom left. Same situation. Know about grass, and then there's 4 things linked to it that we can unlock once we produce enough grass. That is the tech tree. We'll get to that in a second, a little more detail. Here's our global inventory. There's nothing. Now, these 2 nodes are producing resource, but they're just storing it in their own little inventory here. So this guy's got 14. The other one probably same thing. Yeah. If I wanted to push this inventory into storage, I can just click this put in storage. button, boom. And then we've emptied this node and it put all the grass into our kind of our central storage that we can use for building and buying things. That's how that works. There's a shortcut up here at the top left, this little kind of satchel, this little bag here. If I click this button, it says in the bottom right, this will automatically collect all resources. So as you get a bunch of nodes, rather than going into each one and saying, put the resources into storage, if I click this button, it's going to harvest resources from all the nodes on the entire map. And you can see if I zoom out, this can get pretty gigantic. Let's try it. We'll click this button. We should see the rock inventory shoot up a bit and even more grass. Boom. There we go. Now these nodes are empty. This button here at the top left will just synchronize the production. So it basically resets the clock on all of the nodes on the map if you wanted to have them all synchronized. They've each got their own little production cycle times. These can vary. So if you really wanted to get detailed about ratios of certain nodes to other nodes that depend on them, and you wanted them perfectly synchronized, you could click this little clock icon here, stopwatch icon, and that will synchronize them all. I haven't really used that. I played for about 20 hours. I haven't found a need to really use that for my playstyle. Okay, these are milestones. Looks like we've already finished one here. Sent 100 resources. Not sure how we finished that. But we get a 5% bonus, so we'll just click the icon here. Boom. And there's a bunch more objectives here as we collect. Once we get to collecting 1,000 resources, we'll get another little production boost. And there's just a whole bunch here that are tied to mostly how much you produce and then how many nodes that you unlock here in the tech tree. There'll be some bonuses that come up from that as well, or milestones that we can achieve. So we need to kind of periodically bring this window up to claim those rewards. And then this display shows us what rewards we've actually claimed so far. There's 3 categories. And so we've got ourselves a 5% production bonus just from that milestone that we just clicked. So these 3 numbers will tick up as we unlock things in the game. Settings, not too much to speak of here. We got volume. We've got WASD speed. This is how fast the map is going to move, or the screen is going to move when you're using the WASD keys. So I'll turn that down actually. Screen resolution, auto align to grid. I might turn that on. I've been playing with it off, but this may be handy to organize the nodes. And then what else we've got? Keyboard layout, show zeros in the resource window, and show UI tooltips. We'll leave all that the way it is. Boom. And then we've got kind of a summary of some of the information we saw in the tutorial. How to move the camera, how to move around, how to select nodes, how to link nodes, and basically all that, how to navigate the game, basically. And then we've got an explanation here showing that each node has a productivity level, and there's a dot that will show us, is it producing at a high level or are there problems? And it's producing at a low level. So we can see those dots here. These 2 are doing fine. They don't have any dependencies. They just generate resources. All right, so let's see how we want to get started here. I've got a grass node and a stone node, or a rock node. I get the 2 mixed up. Let's look at the tech tree and see what we can take on first. We can start with grass since we're right here. In order to unlock another node, we need more grass, like a lot more grass, right? Maybe one of the first things we want to do is upgrade this node. You can see the first upgrade is going to cost 6 grass. I think it will take this grass from our central inventory, not the inventory of the node itself. That makes sense. So we'll click the upgrade. We should see this grass over here in our inventory on the left go down by 6. Boom. Yep. And now our production should be going up. Let's see, we're getting 2 per cycle. Let's upgrade again. Boom, now we're getting 3 per cycle. You kind of see what's going on here. So let's put this in storage. Do some more upgrades. Boom, boom. And see if we can't get this production up. Now they showed us in the little walkthrough, if I click and hold on this guy, it's actually kind of speeding up the production as long as I've got the mouse pressed. Let's upgrade this node. Let's see if we can get this node up to like level 20. I'll put stuff in storage. We'll upgrade one at a time. We're at 10 now. Hold down the mouse. Oh, it doesn't look like it's speeding it up that fast, but it is quite a bit faster. Let's see. Let's do them one at a time. I guess this will be quite a bit faster to get up to 20. See if we can get this node up to level 20. Almost there. We need 71 grass for the next upgrade. And 81 for this one. And then we'll be generating 20 per cycle. We may do the same thing on our stone node. Boom, boom. Okay, now we're level 20 on that guy. Generating 21 per cycle. Select everything. Let's go to the stone node, do the same thing. We've got a bunch of rock, I'm sorry, already in inventory. We'll get a few upgrades. All right, almost there. We just need 40 more. Boom and boom. All right, let's collect up all our resources. We've got 378 grass. Rock is now upgraded to 20. So is grass. Those guys are producing a little bit faster. Let's see what we want to unlock first over here. How about these little pine cone things? Or what's the cheapest? 650 to unlock what looks like, I know, almost looks like a little mushroom. Let's see if we can get to 650 grass here. I'm going to hold down the throttle on here. I'll bring up the inventory just so we can see where we're at. Hold down the throttle. We're getting 21 per cycle. We need something like 650. We've got 378 in inventory. You can see in the top left. That should do it. 735. So let's go get this guy unlocked. Boom. All you got to do is click it. And it is now unlocked. And now we can purchase this poisonous mushroom. Let's go see what that guy is going to cost. 1,800 grass. So we can see we're going to need more grass. Lots more grass. I'm going to bring up my inventory. I kind of like seeing that. Got 148 grass. Let's see about making some more grass nodes. We're obviously going to need a ton. Okay, we need 400 to get another grass node. Let's try and get that going. I think that'll do it. Boom, boom. Hold down the control key and... oh, these aren't actually even on the grid. Boom. I'm going to move these guys onto the grid. Okay. Going to collect all the resources. Let's see if we can get this grass node upgraded as well. We've got 64 in inventory. In fact, rather than accelerate the production on this one, let's accelerate the production on the one that's got the most production. See if we can't get this up to, I don't know, maybe 400 over on the left here where it says 210. Let's see if we can get 400 and then we'll push that to inventory and upgrade that new grass node. See if we can't get both of these guys going a little bit faster. Okay. That into storage, and then we can do a bunch of upgrades here, it looks like. All right, put that in storage, upgrade. Now we've got 2 grass nodes at 20. We need a bunch of grass. We want to buy the mushroom. It takes 1,800. Let's let grass do its thing, and let's head over to rock. Let's get another rock node going down. We're producing. We know we want to scale all this up. This guy, we can do some upgrades right out of the bat. Drain our existing inventory of rock. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll speed this guy up. Try to get to maybe 400 rock, push that in inventory, and upgrade our new rock node. Again, we're just trying this as early game. It's a little tedious, but we want to kind of ramp up our production. of rock and grass. We're going to need millions of rock and grass, believe it or not. Many millions, I should say. All right. Now we got 2 nodes at 20 for each raw material. Select our resource. Grass is slowly climbing. We want that to get to 1500. Let's maybe do one more of each. All right, how are we doing on grass? Grass is at 684. What do we need to build? We need 1800. Let's go again. Now it's a little tedious here in the beginning, but let's keep. Oh, notice too that as we buy nodes, remember they started out at 400 a piece. Now they go up. So every new node that you buy of the same type, the price increases. We'll see later. I'm going to show you kind of with the mid to late game. This gets up to like, hundreds of thousands of material to buy a new node once you get a lot of nodes down. Okay, right now we're just investing in our production. Now we've got 4 of each. We've got 513 grass. I know we need more of that. Wondering what we should do. Should we go again with a 5th node? Eventually this inventory is going to catch up to us and we'll be able to have enough supply where we're not having to slap down new nodes. So I know this is tedious, but I'm going to keep going. That gets us level 20. Let's collect all our inventory, see how we're doing. We're getting close. We're at 947 grass. We want to buy this node, but it's still 1800. I'm going to keep building these nodes out, ramp up our production because we're going to need it. But this time we're going to do a little different. If we hover over the node, get these little pop-ups that we can set some things without having to go into the node itself. It's kind of a shortcut. This one right here says upgrade max. So it's going to look at everything we've got in inventory and it's going to upgrade it as far as it can go. So let's just click that. Boom. And that in one click took that guy up to 22. Let's drop down another rock node and kind of do that same thing. I'll collect all the resources here. We've got 502. Boom. With one click, it upgraded it up to 19. Boom. And you can see we're starting to scale things up. Now I've got, what are we up to? 6 nodes of rock or stone. Rock. 6 nodes of grass. All at level 20. Getting there. I want to buy this mushroom. Take our most productive grass here and let's just accelerate and see if we can't get up to whatever it was, 1400, or I think it was maybe 14 or 1600 total grass in order to buy the mushroom node. So let's do it. We're almost there. Okay, that should get us that node. Let's buy it. Let's do it right above 1800 at once. Okay, we've got it. Boom. Let's drop this above one of the grass nodes here. This has an input. It's going to take 3 grass, produce a mushroom. So we'll link these together. Right click here, right click there. Then I got to go in here and set my export. That's this part up here. And I'm just going to say max. Send all of your grass up to that node that's producing mushrooms. And if we look in here, this guy is starting to produce mushrooms. There's the inventory it's got on hand of grass. And it's level 1. We'll want to level that up. But let's let it do its thing for a minute. And let's work on the rock side of the equation. I'm going to harvest all my materials. Let's go into the tech tree and see if we can't make some progress on the rock side of the house here. Put this guy down here. We've got 1881 rock. We need 700 to unlock this. Let's just do it. And then we can see what it is. Ancient dirt. Let's grab ancient dirt. Do we have 2000 rock? We might not. Let's see. 1,528. We're close. We don't have enough. Now our mushroom's been doing its thing. I can, let's see, collect everything. We've got 8 poisonous mushroom. I can click here and just upgrade this guy quickly. That took us up to level 2. Okay, now we've got enough for the ancient dirt. Let's plunk that down here. Do the same thing, wire these up, right click, come on in and set the export to max. All the rock gets sent up to this guy. And it's doing its thing, producing level 1. We're early game here, so things are slow. Let's ramp up production of grass. We know we're going to need a ton. So let's do another grass node. Boom. And see if we can upgrade this quickly. Boom. Now that's 26 with just one click. So we're producing more grass. And how about for the rock? Allow us to keep scaling up. We're going to need tons of this stuff. Boom. Level 8. We didn't have as much rock on hand there. Upgrade these guys. Level 2 and that guy to level 5. What's next? Let's go back to doing a grass one. Unlock the mushrooms. Let's unlock... What's next that's close? It looks like this one needs 700 grass. Let's try it. Inventory, collect. Okay, yeah, we're already past that, so we're in good shape. Click this guy. Okay, I'll read. We just unlocked. Let's see if we can make one of those. We only got 558 grass. Can we make it? No, we need 900. Collect some resource here. You can see as I collect, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 grass nodes. 893, 984, 1000. All right, let's do the same kind of thing. We'll drop this node here. I believe it needs grass as well. Yeah, we can see that's the input. So we'll link a node. Boom, boom. Got to make sure we set the export. I'll just set it to max. Now we've got this guy unlocked and producing for us. Come through and hit the upgrade shortcuts here. That one hasn't produced enough to even upgrade yet. And you can see this is kind of the way to get started, or a way to get started. I kind of think it's important to keep scaling up the number of rock nodes and grass nodes as you go, because you need a ton of these. Let's do that very thing. Let's put down another rock node here. Boom. This time I'm going to go in and just upgrade it to just about 20. Not going to use up all the rock yet. I would almost rather have more nodes. And let's do the same thing for grass. Hop in and just take it up to 21. Ooh. Need more. We need to get to 537. We're at 434. 478. I'm just clicking the collect all button here in the top left. 588. Okay, now I can upgrade that. Okay, rock is at 1060. We can probably unlock another node. Let's upgrade these while we're here. Keep the production going high. Head over to the rock section of the tech tree. We unlock the ancient dirt. Let's unlock whatever this is. Only takes 600. We've got 1200. Boom. Gold ore. Buy a gold ore. Oh, we need 1,000 rock for that. Check inventory. We've got 607. I collect everything. Got enough. Let's do it. Boom. Pop you there. Link these together with a couple of right clicks. And then I got to make sure I set the export on this rock node. I'm just going to keep going max because we've got, you know, a bunch of surplus rock nodes that we're kind of pushing their product into inventory. So we'll have this guy just fully dedicated to producing the gold ore here. Come through, do the little upgrades. Starting to get respectable numbers here. The ancient dirt is at 15, and our little poisonous mushrooms are at 16. All right, what's next? Like we've got a lot of grass, 1,683. Let's invest in the supply, though. Let's put down more grass nodes. One more for you. Upgrade you to 20-something. And let's do the same on the rock. Way we can keep things going here. Pretty good. Ooh, we're actually a little short on rock for that upgrade. Boom. Right. Now let's take a look at the achievements or the milestones here at the top right. Look at this. I've been missing out. I forgot to check this. All right, let's claim all these rewards. This is going to ramp up our production as well. So let's claim these. Boom. Collected 25,000 resources. We'll take it. Sent 2,500. So that's these links where we're sending resources from one node to another. We've done over 2,500, so we'll grab a 10% bonus on that. 50 resources per second. That's from doing all our upgrades. We'll take that bonus. Purchased 5 nodes. Yep. Reached maximum node level of 5. I guess that's, I'm not sure what that means, maximum node level of 5, but we'll take it. And then we've reached a maximum node level 20, so we must have 20 nodes down. We'll take those bonuses. That'll help all the production here. And we can see where we stand. We're getting 60% production bonuses from the milestones, 12 off of the nodes we've unlocked, I guess, in the tech tree. And booster nodes, we haven't unlocked any of those yet. We don't have any bonus from that. We're already kind of cooking along here. Let's collect all the resources. Boom. Now look at this. You can see we're getting a lot more. We don't need to sit on a node and kind of accelerate its production. I'm going to invest first, though. Let's put another rock node down. Boom. Or stone. Or rock. Yeah, sorry. Boom. And I'm going to do grass as well. Want to keep ramping up our production of those 2 base materials. Eventually we'll come through and maybe upgrade these to above 20. Right now it's not real expensive to get them to 20, so we'll stick with that. Do a sweep through here and upgrade these guys. Boom, 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 boom. Not bad. Eventually we're going to have nodes that require these mushrooms and stuff, so that's what this will be used for. Let's grab what we've got, 2 of each, 2 on the grass, 2 on the rock side. Let's go grab another grass node here. We've got 6 done. We need to do about 269 more. Finish the game. So we're not going to do that all in this first look video, but we'll do a couple more. I just wanted to give you a feel for the flow of the game. And we're just over that initial tedious hump where you have to kind of manually produce. All right, let's unlock these pine cones here. Buy one. Boom. Oops, can't afford it yet. Probably have the inventory, I just got to collect it. Bam. Pine cone. Drop that here. I think this takes, I'm guessing this takes grass. Yep. Link that up to a node. Set the export. There's probably a shortcut for that too, you know? Let's see. Let's see what these are. Store all of this, store all of the type, and export max. There's export max. We can just do that one. Boom. Now the pinecone node fires up. Starts producing pine cones for us. Select inventory. We've got lots of grass and lots of rock. I'm going to keep investing in new nodes as we go. We'll pop one down, and we'll just go to 20 on these. But again, doing this along the way, I believe, ends up speeding things up for you. Super easy once you get going, but you got to keep scaling up production. All right, let's see what's next. Let's do another one off of the rock up here in the tech tree. We did the ancient dirt, we did the gold. Let's go and do this guy. Bam. Coal. Same routine. Let's get a coal going. Drop that down, link it up, max export. We're done with that. Upgrade these to keep their production rate up. That one's not even ready to upgrade yet. Let me collect resources and see. Yeah, okay. Let's do the same thing for grass. Pick a new node, unlock it. Let's go with this one that looks like corn. Boom. Grains. And that's over here. I'm guessing it's going to take the grass as an input. We'll take a look. Yep. Boom. Max export. And I'm going to upgrade let's collect all the inventory on the top left. Boom. And then go and upgrade what we've got. That one hasn't produced enough to upgrade yet. So yeah, that is kind of the gist. You can lay this out any way you want. We've only unlocked very few nodes, 9 out of 275. So far, we've only unlocked nodes that require a single ingredient, right? All of these new nodes that we've produced require grass, and all the ones over here require stone. In fact, it looks like maybe we can do one more stone just to do 4 of each. Let's do that. But later, there's going to be nodes that require 3 or even 4 ingredients. Let's do this guy. This is the actual stone, I believe. Stone. Same thing here. Boom. Boom. Drop it. Link it. Set the export. Now you're producing. Select your inventory and then do some upgrades if you can. So one of the things to take note, I'm going to show you this in a little more detail later, real soon here, as we go to the mid and late game. I'll show you that. We'll kind of shortcut over to that. But each of these nodes, they've got their own inventory, right? 35, now it's 49. That's how many pine cones are sitting in this node. And we saw that we can just push them to storage that way or click the button in the top left. Another very important aspect of these nodes, they have an input inventory down here. And this grows. Often it grows, you're able to supply more input than the node can make use of. That is going to be meaningful later on. We'll see in a little bit, but I just want to show you, like this one's got 832, 852 grass to produce, and this number keeps climbing. Later on, we'll see, I can pull this grass node off if I want. And this pine cone is going to run for quite a while. It's got a surplus of inventory. That's going to become meaningful in a little bit. Let's do one more node. Let's see. What do we have the most of? Just show you one more thing. Select resources. Okay, we've got the most grass. Let's do a grass node, but let's do one that requires maybe these pine cones. See if we can unlock that. Head over to the grass section of the tech tree. There's our pine cones. Let's see. Can we unlock this? Wood. No. We need 2,500 pine cones for that. This one we could, but it just takes... This is a deer. It's going to take grass. I kind of want to show you the next level up. So let's see if we can get pine cones to 2,500 without too much pain. I'm going to collect all the inventory. I'm going to upgrade this to max, and we're going to kind of come in here and do this routine. See if we can get this thing up to level 30. You'll notice these upgrades now, they're ticking up. So it says 33 per cycle. If I do the next upgrade, boom. Oh, 34. I thought I saw it go up by 2. Let's see. It's 34 to 36. Yeah. We're getting there. We need a bunch of these pine cones to show you what I want to show you. So I'm going to keep upgrading this as efficiently as I can. Let's see. How many more we got in there? 25. Okay, we're up to 46 per cycle. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Oh, I ran out of grass. I ran out of input. Let's go down to this one. We'll upgrade the grass one a bit. ramp this up. This one is supplying the pinecone node. So you'll see its storage isn't accumulating anything because it's being sent immediately up to that pinecone node. Gonna boost this a bit. And what we're working toward is I want to unlock this this log node. It takes 2,500 pine cones. We don't have 2,500 yet. We're gonna get there pretty quick. Upgrade. Okay. In fact, I could probably keep the inventory up so I can keep an eye on that. We've got 215. As I upgrade this, we're getting more per cycle. We're up to 53 per cycle now. Okay, and I ran out of grass. Got to do the same thing down here. What I could do is have these guys send some grass over there just to speed this up. Now I've got 3 nodes supplying grass here. Still going to boost this a little. Just so I can shortcut getting to the next stage. Okay, we're at 55 per cycle. Keep investing in upgrades, and then we're gonna kind of manually produce, I guess, 1,800 of these. Still running out of grass. Come on. Yeah, I can't get grass here any faster. It won't pull grass from the central inventory, even though we've got, 12,000, 13,000 grass. You can't put that into a node from the central kind of inventory. Although I can upgrade this guy from central inventory, so let's take that up to level 40. It's a 73 grass per cycle, you can see. I'm pumping this into the pinecone node so we can accelerate that one. And eventually get to 1,800 pine cones. Right. Let's see. We're getting 57 per. Let's upgrade as much as we can, and then we will we'll just accelerate till we get to 1,800 here. So we got 370 in inventory. I just need to get 1,500. Not taking that long now that it's upgraded. It looks like our input inventory of grass looks pretty good. We should be able to get there. Okay, now I've got 1,500 in the node and 370 in central storage. Move that into central storage. We've got 1,800 in storage, and we can unlock that node. What's 2,500? 2,500 pine cones. My bad. Let's scale this up. What do we need? Another 700? Something like that? Boom. There we go. Boom. Okay, we just unlocked wood. Gonna probably take a bunch more pine cones to even buy the node. Yeah, 1,300. Let's do it. We're almost there. Accelerate this till 1,300. Grass, we ran out of grass. Accelerate this guy. It's level 40. I'm doing this so I can show you one way that you might climb the tech tree as you start having new nodes that require more than just grass or the rock. That's the point of this exercise. Bring this up. I thought we needed like 1,500 or something total. Boom. Boom. 1,300. Okay, let's buy the wood node. Bam. Drop that in. I think this one's going to require pine cones. Okay. A little issue with the GUI there. Sometimes if the GUI sticks, going into the tech tree unlocks it. All right, let's take a look at our new node. This does indeed require the pine cones. Let's do that. This time, instead of sending the maximum resource up, let's do something different. I'm going to pull this grass off for a second. I'm going to click on max and I'm going to send like half, 30. Because I still want to collect pine cones in inventory. We're going to need that to unlock other nodes in the tech tree, right? So for example, we may find nodes. This one doesn't require them. But there may be nodes in here that actually require pine cones to unlock. So I kind of want to keep some of those going into our central inventory. And then the rest can go to feeding our log node. Another way to do that, or what I did before, show you. Since we've got pinecone nodes feeding into the wood node, but we still want to collect pinecone nodes in inventory, we can move some of these nodes over. Let's do that. I'm going to do the shift select. Boom. Whoops. I'm going to center click with the control key. Or actually, we're default on snap to grid. So let me reselect these nodes. Move these over. And I'm going to grab this grass node, move it over. So what we might want to do is just have another pinecone node that is feeding storage and not feeding another node. I'm going to grab one. I don't know that we have 1,500 pine cones yet. So let's see. 689, 950. Let's accelerate this a bit. Some of these are going to the log node. That's fine. Get this up to 550, I guess. Yep. Grab ourselves a pinecone node, not from there, from the store. Pop that guy down. Max that export. Should see this guy kick on as soon as the grass completes a cycle. And there it goes. So that's another way where you could ensure that you've always got a supply. And then this one, we could now max out its export so that it's just all of its pine cones are going to the log node. And then we've got a separate pine cone here for just feeding into storage that we can use for upgrades and things. In fact, we'll upgrade this guy to 20. And that's one way to go about it. So then if you get a node that requires logs, you could just build another one of these stalks over here and put whatever that new node is on top. And then you've always got a good supply. Anyway, that's it for early game. I think you get the gist of it. And we looked at the store. We unlocked nodes from the tech tree and they'll show up in the store so we can purchase them. There's our tech tree. We start with the rock node and the grass node, and we expand from there. Tons of nodes in here, 275 of them. We saw the inventory, and we saw how in the top left you can click this little satchel here and harvest the resources produced from all of the nodes. You can see we're already doing really good on rock and grass. 27,000 rock, 18,000 grass before we were having to kind of manually boost those. Now we could throw down a lot more nodes if we wanted to, real easy. And we're getting some other materials too. We saw the shortcut to upgrade nodes. So let's collect all the resources from our nodes and then go through and upgrade these. Boom, that just went to 11, 5 to 24, 15 to 29. That's going to come in handy later. Boom, and boom. And we could upgrade these lower level ones too. I'm tempted to just put more nodes down, but if we wanted to, we could take this one to the max. Bam, now it's at 44. So we saw that. We saw the achievements, the milestones, I should say. Easy to forget checking this. You don't get a little notification on the screen that you made a milestone. So you got to come in here periodically and claim your bonuses. Boom, boom, boom. And here's where you can see the bonuses. We saw that. Getting pretty good here. Settings, help, and leave the game. All right. That is the early game of nodes. All right, now let's take a look at what the mid to late game looks like here in nodes. This is a game session I've been playing for, I'd say 15 to 20 hours here to get all of these nodes going. And I'll show you a little bit about the approach I've taken. It's kind of like what we already saw. You know, every product seemed, or every material in the game seems to start with either the rock or the grass. So I started out by just, every time I wanted to produce a new material, in this case, the silver ingots, just working up from rock to the ancient dirt. I believe this is the dried ancient dirt, silver ore, and then silver. And just started working my way left to right, building up products, starting with either that grass or the stone. And then I had a bunch of surplus stone nodes that I put down. They're not hooked up to anything, just to kind of feed upgrades of the nodes above them. So you can see a lot of these stone nodes are upgraded. Here's one that's upgraded to 100. That may have been overkill. And I kind of have the same setup here on the grass side for all the products that are kind of built from grass and working your way up the chain. And then if there's something that requires two materials, I just, you know, set up two lines for that. So here we've got powdered reed, and that takes this flour here, reed flour, along with pestles. And so I just set up two lines, kind of like that. So that's the approach I took. A little bit overkill, or very overkill, on how much grass and stuff needed for upgrades. I just kept slapping down nodes. If we look at the inventory, you can see right now I've got 101 million grass, 84 million rock. I'm doing good on alcohol and a bunch of, you know, most of the products I'm doing pretty good. Ooh, there's one that's really low. Conchiolin. Not sure where that's even at now. But that's one approach. I don't know that I would take that approach again. Let's take a look at the tech tree and show you where I'm at here. So we've got a bunch of nodes covered, 146 out of 275. So just over halfway done. Most of the stuff on the left side I've cleared, and most of the stuff on the right side, it has been locked until just recently. I think I just unlocked this this guy here, or I'm about to. So maybe we can do that in a second, and I'll show you some of the new techniques that I learned kind of as I've been playing on. Again, I started out just by slapping down a bunch of rocks, slapping down a bunch of grass, and doing a product one by one in its own separate column. Then I started moving on to trying to optimize, kind of sharing nodes across multiple columns. So here you can see at the rock level, I'm sharing one rock node across multiple stone nodes here, branching across two of those, and then also feeding into an ancient dirt node. So started to kind of share the nodes, but still trying to keep it organized. Now you could do it any way you want. You don't have to do it in columns like this. But let's later on, what I discovered as we're getting more and more nodes to do, instead of starting from the grass or starting from the rock nodes, I started just borrowing nodes that already had a full inventory. So for example, this node is producing pure mana stone. And if you look, there's nothing feeding into pure mana stone. It requires this material here, which I think is just mana stone. But you'll see there's no node feeding this. So how did this get here? And how does it have an inventory of 257,000 mana stone, right? In order to produce its pure mana stone? I just stole that node, borrowed it from, where's that one? If I can even find it on here. Looks like it's right here. So here's the original node I had making pure mana stone. This one is fed by mana stone, and it goes all the way down to the kind of the initial product here, which is the rock. So, and it's actually sharing the rock with another whole column here, but you can see the production chain going up, and then we've got mana stone. So rather than rebuild this chain or try to take this product way over here, just let me roll over this stuff. I'm actually making two things from this mana stone. I'm making mana gems, and I'm making magic runes. Now I could have just taken these two new nodes and put them back up where we have the original node up here and just kind of branched off. Things were starting to get a little squirrely with the layout. So what I did, I just went and copied, or what I've been doing for the last, I don't know, 24 nodes. Come in here, I'll see I need this material. I look, the inventory is huge. I just grab a new one. So let's go grab a new pure mana stone. See if we can find it in here quickly. There it is. 2200 mana cost, regular mana stone. Cheap, we'll grab it, drop it down. And then what I've been doing is just severing this connection, moving this one out of the way, dropping a new one in. Match those up, maybe upgrade this thing up to maybe 40. This is like a default kind of level for most of my nodes. I've been just going with 40. Looks like these are down to 30. And then I can just drag this node. This is going to produce pure mana stone for ages, right? It's already got a full inventory. And then meanwhile, I've got a new node that's starting to build its own inventory. And so this guy can be kind of pruned off and used anywhere where we need it. So let's see that process in action. Let's look at the tech tree. Let's go after this guy. Boom. Anvil Rune. I'll show you what I've been doing. Let's just drop down, find a free spot over here. All this area down here are the things that are kind of not fueled by stone or grass. They're kind of these shortcut nodes. Let's go buy the new node we just unlocked. Scroll down to the bottom, the very bottom. Anvil Rune, I'll drop that down anywhere. Let's see what it requires. Oops, I actually didn't even mean to drag it. This guy wants anvils, and it wants this this dust. I'm not sure what kind this is. I think this should have a pop-up, but it doesn't yet, at least in game. Let's see if we can find that dust. I know I've got some around. Oh, it's right above us. One of these, right? This is where my color blindness is going to come in to be a little bit of an issue, but fortunately these little dust bags have symbols on them that are unique. Okay, that looks like almost like a little A, like a Star Trek A on there. Let's see if that's the one that it needs. It is. There it is. So what I will do, this I think is my only node producing this smelter's dust. We check out the inventory. It's pretty good. 133,000 plus of that ingredient, 169 and 228. There is no other node for this particular material that I know of in my whole setup here. So I am going to steal this one out. And I got to keep track of how this is wired up. Okay, this guy, let's make a new one. Smelter's dust, I think that was. Boom. Pop that down nearby. In fact, I could even wire this up before I rip the other one out, couldn't I? If I wanted to be really sure, I think that's an input. And then we need what else? We need this guy. Needs to go in. Then we need these little bags. That's down here. And then this guy is feeding into that one, and I think we're good. So I can pluck off these old connections. Boom, boom. Zoom in, see if I can't get that one to highlight. Looks like it doesn't want to. Let me move the node a bit. You can go, and you can go. This one I'll upgrade. Boom, 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 boom. That's all I have. I don't have much of this dust, so I can't upgrade it beyond level 21. At least not yet. So I'll grab this node out of here. Gotta make sure I set this to export as well. Let's do half of this number if we can. Do like 200 so we can still put some of this material into inventory. And then half or 200 units every cycle will go over to this node, which is producing sun crystal. Okay, so now we've got a node that has got a good size inventory. It's going to be producing for a while. Let's drop this down over to the new node that we're trying to create. snap this into place if I can. That's fine, probably. Send that up. Make sure this one is exporting. I'm gonna do the same thing and just do 400 on the export. Okay, there is that dust coming in. Now we need just regular anvils. Those aren't that hard to make. There's one here you can see. It doesn't take much. So I've often been just building these up from rock alone. We can try and borrow this one if we want. It's got 60,202 inventory. We can just steal that one out just to stick with the same kind of approach here. Could probably search for these two, maybe. Grab the anvil, drop this one in. It'll be easy to swap out. Boom. Boom. You're going to go down here. Boom. You're going to go in here. Set these connections up. Upgrade this guy a bit. And he can export all his stuff up to the gears. That's all been replaced. That'll keep churning. It's fed by stone, so we're in good shape there. And now we just wire this guy up. Boom, boom. Anvils, we're not trying to save any in inventory. We got a bunch, so we'll just keep it at max. And then there we go. We're producing anvil runes. We're off and running. And what I typically do with a new node like this is try to get it upgraded. I try to get it up to 40. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. So let's see. And we can just always mouse over the center icon here and speed up the production. Okay, that's level 11. Clicked it one too many times. Produce, produce, produce. You can see the input inventories down below are looking still pretty good. Let's just see if we can get this upgraded to something respectable. That looks good. 41. And then I typically produce a bit more, 4,000 or 5,000. Put that in storage. And then I can move on to the next node. So we're pretty much done with that. Oops, that's inventory. I don't really care about inventory. Let's look at the tech tree. So that's pretty much the approach I've been taking. Wow, we just unlocked a bunch of stuff here. A ton of nodes to unlock and work on. But you can see, because early on I developed a lot, or put down a lot of stone and grass nodes and kept upgrading everything, I've got tons of inventory of just about everything. So it's just a matter of plugging through the tech tree or plodding through it and unlocking nodes. Pretty cool. Before we leave this, let's take a look at the state of the achievements. You can see we've got one done here. Milestone finished producing 120,000 resources per second. Okay, not bad. I'll take it. And you can see we're getting close to 1 billion total resources collected. We're at 722 million total resources collected. We'll get another bonus for that. Resources sent, we're a little bit further behind on that. We've only got 62 million, 63 million just about. And we need 1 billion for that unlock. Production per second, we're nowhere near 5 million production per second. So that is a goal. If you wanted to go after it, you'd be putting down a lot more nodes and doing a lot more upgrading. They're upgrading more aggressively than even I've been doing. And there's a bunch more unlocks there. We've achieved a ton of milestones. What else was I going to show you in here? Oh, this is the current state of my unlocks. I'm getting a 672% bonus from the nodes in the tech tree that I've unlocked. Those are, let's see, these round nodes here are kind of upgrade nodes. That one's hasn't been unlocked yet. Got a bunch that have though. There's a booster. There's a booster over here. Another booster over this way on the top left. That's what that's talking about. Gain from milestones. I think those are the achievements there. 785% bonus there, and then a gain from booster nodes. Oh, that was the booster nodes that we first saw. 815%. I'm not sure what the unlocked nodes is. Maybe it's just the number that we've unlocked. And if we look at the tech tree, I'm at 147, and I've got another. I've got another. Whatever that is, 130, what is that, 138 or something like that? 128. Very, very cool game. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of different approaches you can take with this game. Like I said, I think if I were to do another playthrough, which I probably will at some point, I would maybe not put down quite so many grass and rock nodes and focus a little bit more on this ladder strategy that I've been using of just kind of borrowing nodes that are already kind of charged up with inventory. That has saved a bunch of time. I got a little bit of a bug here where I can't bring up the details. Sometimes that comes back. There it goes. But yeah, where we've got these charged up inventories, your goal is to basically complete the tech tree, as we said in the beginning. And somewhere at the end of this, I'm guessing it's maybe this node is like a cup of coffee or something that you're supposed to drink, and that's the equivalent of launching a rocket, say, in Factorio. The number of resources you produce is really just tied to the milestones here, the different goals. There's no real reason to produce, like, say, thousands and thousands of these mana gems. I don't know how that's going to be used beyond just a few, really, a few thousand probably. But very cool. And yeah, I think we'll wrap this first look up here. Hope you enjoyed this kind of introduction. To nodes. It's a fully released game. I don't expect there's going to be new content or features added in the Discord. I think the developer mentioned he's just trying to really button up the quality, add some quality of life stuff to it, and then it's basically done. So this is not an early access game. There are updates and there's patches coming out pretty frequently as I record this. But yeah, this is the game in a nutshell. It's a lot of fun and it pulls you in. So definitely check it out if it looks like something you're interested in. There'll be links in the description for the Discord, the Steam page, all that good stuff. Also want to shout out a thank you to Glidercat patrons and channel members. Your contributions make this content possible. If anyone else would like to help support the channel and the content that I produce, there are links to do so in the description, and I'd be very, very grateful for that support. And until next time, this is Glidercat saying thanks so much, and I will see you in the next one.